A rather large story is developing right now about the Los Angeles Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, Kawhi Leonard, and how the Clippers signed Kawhi Leonard to a $28 million endorsement deal where he was not required to show up or participate at all, leaving people, fans, everybody around the NBA world speculating that this was basically an under-the-table payment to Kawhi Leonard outside of the NBA to circumvent the salary cap, to basically allow them to pay him more money than they were paying him on the books to avoid the penalties of the NBA salary cap. Pablo Torre, it first popped off with Pablo Torre on his podcast, and the clip is here on Twitter that we're going to watch. And then it's starting to make me wonder how common this really is. But I also want to go and look at what could the consequences be for the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, and Kawhi Leonard if the NBA deems this as circumventing the salary cap, because the 76ers have the Clippers 2028 unprotected first-round draft pick from the James Harden trade, maybe the only good trade or signing Daryl Morey has ever made in his GM career. Let's first listen to the Pablo Torre clip about this. It's pretty wild that Pablo Torre has the deets. You know what I mean? The undercover agent Pablo Torre. Let's listen to this.
What we know is that NBA executives were suspicious of how Steve Ballmer's Clippers landed the most valuable free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. That the NBA did not find that Balmer got Kawhi by sweetening their offer. Mm-hmm. But also that in March 2025, this celebrity-endorsed, multi-billion-dollar, allegedly fraudulent tree brokerage named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions, they filed for
a tree brokerage that now is allegedly fraudulent. So they're saying the company doesn't even exist?
bankruptcy. Brokerage
it filed for bankruptcy.
Named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions. They filed for bankruptcy. And this is where the clue is. What David's looking at with his glasses on is a bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities to which Aspiration, in all of their alleged fraudulence, still owes the most money. And what I...
Wait. Say this again.
In all of their alleged fraudulence. Bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities...
Aspirations? Oh, the Clippers. The Clippers are at the top of this bankruptcy filing. They owe $30 million.
To which Aspiration, in all of their alleged fraudulence, still owes the most money. And what I noticed is what David is noticing right now, which is that on that list of creditors, up near the top, above the Boston Red Sox, is an LLC. A tiny little company that Aspiration owes $7 million. And that LLC's name, David, is what?
KL2 Aspire LLC.
Hey, yo! What?
And what does it list there under manager or member name?
Kawhi Leonard.
What? Kawhi Leonard is the manager of a company called KL2 Aspirations? This whole thing is fake.
Whose NBA jersey number, just to connect all of the dots here, happens to be what?
They called it KL2. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. I watched Breaking Bad. I could have done a better job than this at faking a company and laundering money.
Number 2.
So then the question is, the Aspire part of KL2 Aspire LLC, right? Because, okay, he's getting all his money, millions of dollars. What I started doing was scour the internet for any mentions of Aspiration.
Shout out Detective Pablo Torre.
Any appearances, tweets, quotes, Instagram posts, anything by Kawhi Leonard endorsing Aspiration.
I mean, you don't have to scour the internet anymore. What you meant by that is you asked ChatGPT.
And this was hard to find. which also might seem weird, right? Because every other celebrity Aspiration gave money to was well known. There was Drake offering a statement to Rolling Stone. There was Doc Rivers,
So Aspiration is real?
Kawhi's own head coach. Robert Downey Jr. was cutting his commercial.
They gave money to Doc Rivers? Yeah, fraudulent company.
That was the whole point of paying the A-list Avengers. But the grand total number of times that I found Kawhi Leonard
Why is a tree company paying Robert Downey Jr.?
ever publicly referencing Aspiration, 0 times.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard mentioned Aspiration. And so what I started doing was reaching out to dozens of former Aspiration employees.
Guy's really a detective.
grand total of 7 of them ultimately agreed to interviews,
Guy's really a whole detective.
which is also how I have exclusively obtained the signed and executed document.
In consideration of the rights and benefits granted to company hereunder, the company will pay KL2, which is Kawhi, $28 million in cash during the term of this agreement. Company will pay KL2 $7 million each year of the term.
That is Kawhi Leonard's autograph. I convinced one very important person who worked in the finance department of Aspiration to go on tape.
And I didn't so much as discover it as I was told to discover
Wait
it.
a minute, bro. Wait a minute, bro. Pablo Torre did a whole Netflix documentary. He has a damn anonymous witness. This is prime entertainment, dude.
To go on tape.
And I didn't so much as discover it as I was told about it.
What was your reaction? What were you told?
My reaction was,
I wish it said like witness chose to be anonymous out of fear of retaliation.
what the f***? And I was told, like, oh, these are the major contracts and the major players you really need to be aware of. And we went through a litany of, really, really top tier name contracts. And then, oh, by the way, we also have a marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard, a $28 million organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi. And that if I had any questions about it, essentially don't, because it was to circumvent the salary cap, LOL. There was lots of LOL when things were shared.
Did you ever see proof of Kawhi Leonard marketing or endorsing Aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that Aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press. It's honestly incredible. Nothing. He didn't have to do anything.
In other words, Kawhi Leonard got from Aspiration a $28 million no-show job.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm honestly so jealous. So jealous. I mean, he's got
$28 million in cash to not show up. That's almost as big as Paul George's Sixers contract, $40 million to not show up. That's almost as big as $50 million. I'm sorry. It's almost as big as Joel Embiid's 76ers extension, which is $139 million to not show up.
got the dream. Like, it's within my beliefs to be paid $28 million and do absolutely all as well.
The Clippers, however, provided a statement on behalf of the organization and owner Steve Ballmer, which reads in part, quote, "Neither Mr. Balmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false."
All right, so Steve Ballmer's invested in a company called Aspiration. Aspiration pays Kawhi Leonard $28 million in cash, and he never promotes the company, not a single time. Then Aspirations files bankruptcy, and they owe the Clippers $30 million, and they owe Kawhi Leonard $7 million. But we're supposed to believe that you're not using a company that you're heavily invested in to circumvent the salary cap. Come on, bro. Now look, I asked ChatGPT, because that's what Pablo Torre did. Let's be serious. He didn't circumvent. He didn't scour the internet. what the consequences could be for the Clippers. If the no-show endorsement deal involving the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, and Kawhi Leonard turns out to be true and is proven to be a way to circumvent the NBA's salary cap rules, the consequences could be severe for all parties involved. Here's a breakdown of what could happen. What is a no-show endorsement deal? No-show endorsement deal refers to a player being paid by a business, usually affiliated with the team or owner, for promotional work that they either never perform or which is used as a cover to funnel extra money outside of the official salary cap. Consequences for the Clippers. Fines. The NBA could impose heavy financial penalties on the organization. In past cases, fines have reached millions of dollars. Loss of draft picks. The NBA often strips draft picks from teams that violate cap rules or tamper with contracts. This would impact the Clippers' future building efforts, especially critical in the post-Kawhi era. The 76ers have the 2028 first-round pick already unprotected, so the Clippers don't even own that draft pick. They have the 2029 Clippers draft pick protected. Maybe one of the penalties could be, or they have a 2029 pick swap with the Clippers. Maybe one of these penalties could be that pick is no longer a pick swap in favor of the Clippers, or in favor, no longer a pick swap in general. Maybe they give up that pick altogether. Contract voiding or restrictions. The league could potentially void the player's contract. Unlikely, but possible. The NBA voids the contract and Kawhi Leonard becomes an unrestricted free agent. More realistically, they might impose future restrictions on the team's ability to negotiate contracts or sign players. Reputational damage. The Clippers would suffer long-term brand damage, especially after trying to rebuild their image post-Sterling era. Yeah, look, bro, the Clippers have never been anything. The Paul George, Kawhi Leonard attempt failed horribly. The SGA trade was maybe one of the worst in the history of the NBA. And then they try to pair Kawhi Leonard with James Harden. It still doesn't work. I don't know about the Clippers' reputation. Consequences for Steve Ballmer. If Ballmer himself orchestrated or knowingly approved the deal, he could face personal fines from the NBA. In extreme cases, owners can be suspended from team operations, or their ability to act in certain roles can be revoked temporarily. Increased oversight. The NBA might put the Clippers under the league's supervision. Consequences are fines. Kawhi could be suspended. He could be ordered to return the $28 million. He could also have be penalized with fines. Precedents: Minnesota Timberwolves, Joe Smith. The Wolves made under-the-table agreements to re-sign Smith below market value. They were fined $3.5 million by the NBA and forfeited 5 first-round draft picks and had a contract voided. And the executives were suspended. Wow. Clippers 2015 DeAndre Jordan recruitment. No penalties, but close scrutiny of recruitment practices show the NBA doesn't take these issues lightly. There is the story. I think it's obviously fraudulent. I mean, why would I believe that a billionaire didn't orchestrate this to pay Kawhi Leonard under the table, who was the biggest free agent at the time? Let me know what you think. Here is what Clippers fans think. Here's the current CBA's guideline for penalties for cap circumvention: $4.5 million fine for first offense, loss of 1 first-round draft pick. The Clippers fans are in here trying to justify it. It's called a shell company. Everybody does it. It's a genius move. I love the creativity. Pablo's a bitch-ass snitch. Shut the fuck up. Yo, and this guy says, what's he snitching for? Bro, not for, somebody said for league integrity. No. He has a podcast, bro. If I'm the first one to break this, everybody's reacting to the Pablo Torre podcast. And it all comes back to all of these journalists, all of these media members planning for the future post ESPN, because nobody watches live TV anymore. Everybody listens to podcasts and watches YouTube. So it's in Pablo Torre's best interest to rocket his podcast viewership and his YouTube channel viewership by being the first to break the story. I don't know what this says for the Sixers, but I've been saying for a long time they need to not trade that 2028 unprotected first round pick. And well, because I think they're gonna clean house and fire Daryl Morey and everybody, and they need to keep that first round pick anyway. But there it is. Let me know what you guys think, man. I'll talk to you soon.